Hello and welcome to another episode of SqEngineering Engineering. I'm Sprutis and we are in the middle of a mini-series of me creating a new stainless steel exhaust for the Supra. In the last episode you saw it getting basically fully tacked up. So hopefully it's ready to be fully welded, or stick around and find out. So the rear part of the exhaust is finished. It's not the prettiest of welds, but and I didn't back purge it like I wanted to. But this is good enough for the one that is going to use it. So now we can focus on the downpipe and the wastegate pipe. I spoke too soon. We have it connected to the silencer and the hangers that I made, one there and one next to the diff, but it's not connected to the downpipe. The problem is this connection. I need to cut it and reposition it so that we close this gap. So yeah, I'll take it down and redo. Then we can move on to the downpipe, hopefully. So I cut off this piece and then I put in a bigger piece. This one is only held in by friction. So I will tack this and hopefully I can put enough tacks so that it won't be damaged when I remove it to fully weld it. So I put some spot welds in place. So I think it's about 6 or something per cut. So hopefully that will hold. Let's see if it works. And it worked. The rear half, or the cat back, is completed, and I still have this jack stand supporting the downpipe because I don't want to put too much strain on the exhaust hanger that is on the other side. You can see the yellow bushing. So now we have the downpipe to take care of and wastegate pipe. So it's another day and another chance to work on the exhaust. And as you can see, it's very tight between the downpipe and the subframe. So I need to cut this back about, I don't know, 15-20 millimeters, extend above the flex pipe the required amount, and then it should be clear, and then we can focus on the wastegate. So I'll remove this and remove some tacks and see what we can do. So I changed my mind a bit. What we need to do is get this edge upwards. So the easiest way is of course to cut this down. I've made some marks so that I just remove the spot welds, move it up, and I will also disconnect this piece so that I can adjust it according to the new shape. I think that will be better. Okay, so we now have something that looks okay. Maybe we could angle this piece a bit more towards the rear or upwards. We will see if I correct that or not. Maybe if I cut the joint between the bend and the flex pipe on the top side and just angle it slightly, that might work. I will need to look a little bit more. So it's another day, and as you can see, we have a wastegate pipe. So it starts with the flange against the wastegate, then down to a V-band, down to a flex pipe, and then into the down pipe. No tacks between the wastegate pipe and down pipe. I will do that tomorrow. But yeah, this took me forever, so it's not perfect, and we do go down, so I can't point, but in the middle of the picture we have 2 inch, and then we go down to 1.75 inch, I think. I doubt that I won't have any restrictions because of this. The reason why I go down in size is because the flex pipe was in that dimension, and I got it from the trash. So I made my own sort of size cone. Again, another day, and the wastegate tube have just been spot welded towards the downpipe. So I'm just letting it cool down until the heat-based movement stops. And I will be very careful when taking it down. I will add a whole bunch of spot welds once I get it out. And then I will actually cut off the wastegate pipe after marking it, so that I know where to cut the downpipe in order to have an opening in the downpipe for the wastegate tube. So yeah, and my bottle of argon gas is almost out, so I will keep on welding until it does, and then continue tomorrow. The gas ran out, but I managed to do all the welds in the area of where I need to do the cut for the wastegate tube. So I will focus on that and get another bottle of gas later today. So we have the spot welds which I used in order to fix the wastegate pipe to the downpipe. So I used the width of the tip of this permanent marker, the green one, and draw a line. And then I used this scribing pen, and on the inside of that, or sort of, I draw another line. So I will do a bit of cutting in here with normal cutting discs. Sort of up to size, and then I will use my air grinder and take out the rest, and every now and then put it back on to verify it. I will do the same thing for the wideband bung, and this is supposed to say rätt, so the right one. Yeah, can't really tell, but it will end up here. So we have a hole for the wastegate pipe. I ended up using first a cutting disc to get several cuts, and then a grinding disc for stainless to sort of grind out the majority, and then finish up the edge with the air grinder. And we also have a hole here for the the wideband sensor. So the bung is like this. So it will sit like this. I did not have a drill bit big enough to make this hole, but I did have 10 millimeter, so I did that. And then I took this screw, because the washer is the same size as the bung. So yeah, you can maybe see that it's falling in. So I put this in the hole, and then I traced the outer edge of the washer. And you can also see that it's a bit shiny. So I used my drill and this wire wheel. So I will wire wheel at least all of the welds to clean them up. I went a bit overboard, so I've done a bit more, as you can see. But the idea was to clean up the area which will be covered with the wastegate tube. I will of course need to do the same on the wastegate tube before I weld it in place. After a few hours of welding, we finally have a downpipe completed with wastegate tube. It was a bit tricky, and I spent a lot of welding gas. We also have the bung for the wideband sensor. So yeah, and this no longer fits. It does touch the transmission mount, so I will, instead of redoing the downpipe, I will notch it a little bit. It's not much, and it's way more stable compared to my previous installation. So I will install this. So the downpipe is in place, and my ugly welds, and here you can see the contact, and I've decided to, so here's the catalytic converter, and I will make a cut here, because if I disconnect this V-band, then I have enough play in the flexpipe, or I can just rotate the V-band on the turbine housing, and then I can get clearance here. And also, maybe you can't see it, but the clearance between the exhaust and body is a bit too tight for my taste. So I will correct that by cutting here. So, and let's have a look from the top. I think it looks good. We have the wideband bung in place, but I need to chase the threads. I don't need to, but I will do it to be on the safe side before I thread in the wideband sensor. And as you can see, it's an Innovate LC1 that I have. Yeah, and for the downpipe we have good clearances, even with the adapter from the wastegate to the V-band. It's a bit tight, but if I rotate the downpipe like that, then I can get it past the adapter. So V-band to the turbo, V-band to the wastegate. Yeah. So this project is not over yet. I have cut and added a small piece here. So by cutting, I made like 1 millimeter thick cut through the pipe, and I actually had to fill out about 4 or 5 millimeters with an extra piece just to get some relief in tension. But that also means that we have clearance to the transmission mount and to the speedometer wire, so that's good. We also have clearance here, and this little extra brace. So I will take it down now and weld it fully. I've made several welds, spot welds along the way, just to make sure that I lock in the position. So as you can see, the entire exhaust is now in place. I started to clean some of the welds. I will wire brush everything. We have clearance between the exhaust and the subframe, between the body and the exhaust, between that red bar and the exhaust, between the speedometer wire and the exhaust, between the transmission mount. So all that's left is to fully weld the V-band flange to the silencer, and also I need to fully weld the support and also add some sort of reinforcement. But other than that, I would actually say that the exhaust is finished. So that's really nice. The final 2 pieces are welded. So here we have a very sturdy bracket. And the V-band is welded as well on the silencer. It's not perfectly straight, so hopefully it will seal. This mount I will leave it as it is. This part is not stainless, these are. So yeah, we will see. Anyway, this bracket hangs basically a few decimeters away from the V-band, so it's well supported. So here you see the old exhaust next to the new one. So everything is welded on the new one. I do need to grind some welds on the inside at some places, but overall this is fine. The old one I will keep on the shelf, I think, at least for now. So yesterday, early afternoon, I took some measurement for my T3 gasket for my turbo, placed an order with Speeding, and they sure live up to their name. So I had it today, so I picked it up before I went to the garage. So here we have it, much better quality than the last one I had. Everything is correctly stamped. So really nice, really quick, good service. Highly recommended. So here we have the turbine housing, and I will clean up some of the welds on the inside, also on the adapter for the wastegate. Just make it a little bit nicer, and I will be using this air grinder. I have wire wheeled it a bit. So I will clean it and then paint it, and then heat treat it in order for the paint to cure. So we'll see how that goes. Hopefully it will stay on for at least 2 drives. I've done a bit of grinding also on this wastegate adapter. The green is from when I filed it a little bit, just to see how much the flange was distorted. You can actually see it now, so quite a lot, but also a thin flange. So we'll see if I can adjust that a bit, not by grinding or anything, but actually pressing on it and shaping it. So let's paint this. The turbine housing is painted black, awaiting heat treatment. I will have to do that tomorrow. So as you can see, I've started with the heat treatment of the turbine housing in order to get the paint to cure. So I will leave it like this for a while and then lower it to blow into the other scroll. there you have it. The stainless steel exhaust is finished, at least for now. It's a big improvement over the previous install. Hangers are, I mean, now it's actually mounted instead of just hanging, so that's really nice. And I did leave out a few videos where I tried to start the engine in order to get the sound. It failed, and it was due to some let's say I had forgotten to tighten down a few wires. Unfortunately, those for the ignition coils, the grounds, that is. So I wish I had recorded that, because I gave everyone in the garage a big scare. So when I tried to start it, the injectors would fire, but not the spark plugs, meaning I would be spraying gasoline into the engine, which is then pumped out into the exhaust. And after a bit of troubleshooting, I realized that the grounds were not properly connected. So once I tried again, we got a bit of a fire. Not a fire, but I mean the gas, the fuel in the exhaust got lit up, which in the exhaust made it sound like a gunshot. I had a really high heartbeat from that, and the other guys, they thought that something went terribly wrong. And the guys who have the place directly across the sort of driveway from me, they have this plastic tarp hanging, and I just saw that blowing up from the energy coming out of the exhaust. Not blowing up, it was moving with the wind. But yeah, so that's also explains the amount of smoke that you were seeing in this startup when I had fixed all the grounds and so on. So nothing to be worried about, and it might have sounded a bit like I was revving too high, but it wasn't that high, and I had made sure that we did have a bit of temperature before I pushed the throttle. Anyway, so yeah, I'm happy that it's done, because it turned out great. And also, I only have the turbo, the catalytic converter, which is some sort of I think it's 100 cell race cat, so for good flow, and then the silencer that I've had for 12 years or something. No muffler in between, no resonator in between, and it actually, I think it sounds good. It sounds much better than it did in this video, and also it sounds actually a lot lower than my E36, maybe even my E91, which the E91 have a muffler delete, or the rear silencer is replaced with a pipe instead. So I'm actually quite surprised that the sound is at this level. I was prepared to install an additional muffler or silencer or whatever somewhere in the exhaust, but I don't see the need for that. So that's really nice. But yeah, I'm gonna let you go now. So thank you very much for watching. Please comment, like, subscribe. Remember that it's very important for the channel to grow so that I can continue making videos like this. But yeah, stay safe, take care, bye bye.